I think the importance of us understanding shooters, the importance they have a great inside-outside game. Very similar styles of play. They run a lot of split action, very difficult to defend. We're going to have to be disciplined defensively. We're going to have to rebound the basketball. But I think it'll be interesting who can make more threes, who's going to come out and play off 2 feet and get the ball in the paint. So it'll be a fun matchup because we're very similar styles of play. We're excited for Crimson Chaos. It should be a fun weekend of basketball in Coleman Coliseum.
I'll have more in a moment. Hey, Bama fans, each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, join us live for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This live streaming talk show features the latest on Alabama athletics with exclusive conversations with Tide student athletes, coaches, and media members giving their perspective on the Crimson Tide. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and X, with all conversations archived as well on the Alabama Insider podcast. Roll Tide with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. We've got you covered tonight for Alabama women's basketball against Clemson. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. at Coleman Coliseum, with our coverage on the network starting at 5:45 p.m. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we are back. We are live. We are brand new. It is Talking Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Happy Thursday morning, everyone. 34 degrees in the Rocket City. Your high today, 46. So safe travels into work, into school, wherever you may be headed. Now is a great time. Temperature is getting cold. Now's a great time to give Talent Heating and Air a call, 256-503-4490, or find them online, talenthvac.com. They've got a tune-up special right now, $49 plus TVA will give you $50. So you make $1 on giving Talent Heating and Air a call. See, we're just helping you save money each and every day. Talent Heating and Air, of course, sponsoring our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Listener Party Toy Drive event that is slated for Tuesday, December 16th at Field Day. Our good friends over at Field Day helping us out. You bring a toy that night from 5 to 7:30 to Field Day. You're going to get a free round of miniature golf. You're going to get free food, register for prizes. It's going to be a fun night. Again, circle Tuesday, December 16th on your calendar, and bring a toy. All the toys that we collect will go for Toys for Tots. It's going to be a fantastic night. I know we got a lot of college basketball to get to. We got Alabama in action last night. We had Auburn in action last night, the ACC SEC Challenge. But I know a lot of us did not stay up late last night to see North Alabama overcome a massive deficit on the road, Drew, at San Francisco. Tony Poolhole and company playing in San Francisco last night, and the Lions were down in this one 24-6 out of the gates and managed to come back and get a 65-63 victory over the Dons. And what makes this impressive, it is the third time in 2 seasons that UNA has gone on the road and won a bye game. They did it with wins at Air Force and East Carolina last year. UNA was paid by San Francisco to go out on the West Coast and and to play the Dons. UNA comes away victorious 65-63. San Francisco, they were ranked number 20 in the College Insider mid-major top 25. So congratulations to Tony Poolhole and company.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. Congratulations to Coach Poolhole. I was made aware that they were trying to rally late last night as I was coming back in the wee hours from Tuscaloosa after watching the Alabama Crimson Tide hold off the Clemson Tigers inside Coleman Coliseum 90-84. But that's a huge win. Don't forget that the reigning national champion Florida Gators were once coached by Todd Golden at San Francisco before he went to Florida. So, Coach Pujols and those guys UNA had already played at Clemson as well. So going on the road and beating a West Coast Conference opponent like that, and what a long flight, what a long road trip for UNA, but what a huge win for Tony Pujols and crew. And don't forget, just recently they won at Jack State as well. So it's been UNA playing well right now.
All right, so I just wanted to get that out of the way because that was huge for them. That was huge for them to get a win last night on the road. All right, so we start where you were at last night, and that would be inside Coleman Coliseum as 12th-ranked Alabama picks up its third consecutive win. They get by the Clemson Tigers 90-84. A little bit of drama in this one. Tide have a 19-point lead. Clemson comes back. LeBaron Philon, a career high, ties his career high, 29 points last night. Tide had 4 players in double figures. Amari Allen had a big night, Drew, a big breakout night for Amari Allen. His first career double-double, career high in points, a career high in rebounds. Alabama did own an edge in 14-6 and second chance points. But overall, thoughts on Alabama getting a win there at home last night?
They beat a good team. Clemson really, played a great second half and scored 53 points and really kind of punched Alabama in the face. They came out like a howitzer because the Tide dominated the first half and led 45-30 at the break. And as Brad Brownell said last night, they for whatever reason they seemed like they came out a little with some anxiety and some angst and didn't play up to their capabilities. And he said it was just unacceptable. But they came out in the second half and they got 2 small leads. They actually led 2-0 and then didn't lead again until the second half. They got 2 small, a 1 and a 2-point lead. Both times, though, you just mentioned in your opening, LeBaron Philon responded with old-fashioned 3-point plays to give Alabama the lead once again. And the Crimson Tide was able to hold off, the Clemson Tigers. And it was a shorthanded Alabama team. Alabama was without 3 stalwarts in their rotation and even a fourth when you think about freshman Collins Onyejiwaka, who's been out with a medical condition for a few weeks now. But there's been Aiden Holloway, who's, of course, been averaging 18 points a game, having an all-SEC type season. He's had a little bit of a wrist issue, and so he could not go last night. He did not play. And as we know, Latrell Wrightsell Jr., the senior, has been out with a lower leg since Vegas. He was not available. Neither was Keaton Bristow, who got re-injured in that win over UNLV. So they were without 3 big-time guys in their rotation. So they were shorthanded. So Amari Allen, who you just mentioned, had to start last night and really be more of a point forward and help LeBaron Philon with some of the ball handling. And he had his biggest game as a collegiate, 36 minutes. He played the most minutes on the team last night, Scott, and ended up with 20 points last night in the stead of LeBaron Philon, who had 29. Houston Millette had 10 and got a huge offensive rebound that led to a Taylor Bolbo in 3. That was one of the biggest baskets of the game to kind of extend the lead late. Bolbowen ended up with 11. And then fellow freshman London Jemison, followed with 13. So Alabama was able to escape against a really good team. It was a really good crowd. For a Wednesday in that SEC ACC challenge. And I'm sure as you're about to let the listeners know, it was a big night for the SEC too as well.
It was. And I want to make sure we talk about Aiden Sherrill, though. He had a career high last night, 8 blocks.
Yeah, he
Those
did.
8 blocks ties him. Now he's 5th for block shots in a single game for Alabama. And to put that in perspective, Sherrill had 7 blocks all of last year total. He had 8 blocks last night. He has 13 blocks in the Tide's last 2 contests.
Yeah,
so
he did a great job protecting the rim as well in their last game over in Vegas, and also scoring the ball. I mean, they blitzed. As we know, our good friend Buzz Williams is now at Maryland. And Alabama, blew Maryland out in their third and final game over in Vegas. And that was kind of the breakout defensive game for Aiden. He did another good job last night, but Nate Oates did joke in the post game that he wasn't really joking. He was being serious, but he came into the media room and said that Aiden Sherrill was in the practice gym already shooting free throws because he struggled from the line a little bit last night. And as Nate Oates put it, if he had made his free throws, the game's a little more extended, and he probably would have had a shot at a triple-double because he would have had double-digit points. As you already pointed out, he had 11 rebounds and 8 blocks. So he was tremendous last night.
All right, well, speaking of Nate Oates and postgame, here is Nate Oates after last night's Clemson win.
Obviously, when you get up 19, the first 10 minutes of the game, you'd like to close the next 30 out a lot better than we did. But, with the guys that we had, down the players that we were down, I'm happy we got to win. We're going to have to work on our defensive mentality playing with a lead. But when we ended up, Clemson's good. They're going to win a lot of games this year, and they're tough. They're a veteran group. Any team coached by Brad's not going to quit. We knew that. We tried to tell our guys that at the half, and then the first 2 possessions of the second half, we give up transition layups, and then it was a dogfight from there. But to get down 1 and then shoot I think we're down 1 with less than 3 minutes to go and finish on an 8-1 run. We made some big stops late when we needed them.
That's Nate Oates, and you mentioned a big night for the SEC that spills out a little bit south of Tuscaloosa, down on the plains. Auburn, 20th ranked Auburn, taking on NC State and Will Wade last night. Kevin Overton, Keyshawn Hall, they combined for 57 points as Auburn knocks off NC State last night, 83-73. Hall and Overton was really a two-man show. They combined to make 11 three-pointers on 16 attempts. They had an epidemic of 20 turnovers last night, did Auburn. They were just in a given mood. But that is a big night for Auburn back at home after being out in Las Vegas, kind of like Alabama, taking on NC State. And it was a little bit of a battle, but Auburn does prevail by 10 over the Wolfpack.
Yeah, they did. And it was a good win for Auburn, no doubt about it. It was a good day for the SEC overall, as Nate Oates pointed out in his press conference after Alabama's win. There was, I think, 3 games still ongoing, including the Auburn game, Scott. And if the SEC swept, which they did, then they would have a chance to take this SEC ACC challenge. So it was a good day, for the SEC. They played exceptional basketball, and look, Will Wade's team likes to pressure, so Auburn did have a little bit of issue with that. But to be able to come back and get an 83-73 win over Western Union. He's still Western Union. He always will be. I don't really care about NIL, but
even though it's legal, he's still Western Union.
Yeah, he's still Western Union. It's just probably, now he can pay more than the G League, and he can actually, go on the record with that instead of telling somebody, an AAU
strong ass offer.
Yeah, that too. And so
strong ass offer. But what's funny is now these G League guys, you bring up that he can pay more than the G League, and that's true because
they're making
guys,
like $40,000. So
there's G League guys leaving the G League and coming to play college basketball because they have college eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, here is Stephen Pearl after last night talking about the 20 turnovers.
We'll start offensively. 20 turnovers. Our execution has got to get better in order for us to beat the best teams on our schedule. 20 turnovers leads to 22 points. And as a team that averages 93, they scored 22. That's 51 in the half court. So our defense, we'll get to that in a second, answered the bell. But our offense has got to get better. And if it weren't for just tough shot making by KO and Keyshawn Hall, we don't win that game. So two of our best players bailed us out when we had very poor performances from other guys on our team. So
There you go, Stephen Pearl. I mean, that Auburn did get a win, but obviously a lot to clean up there down on the Plains. And both Nate Oates and Stephen Pearl are challenging their ball clubs in this non-conference portion. Alabama's already played Purdue. They've already played St. John's. They've got Clemson. They've got more on the horizon. Auburn has more on the horizon as well. They've already played Michigan. They've played St. John's. They've got Purdue coming up. Alabama's played Illinois. So, I mean, both of these coaches, Stephen Pearl and Nate Oates, challenging their ball clubs, and both of them still have a lot of Rocky Mountain roads left to come.
No, I mean, the next week, Alabama and Auburn both play Arizona. So, and that's coming up on Saturday. Auburn will be playing Arizona. That's going to be, a tough matchup, no question about it. And they're going to be playing on the road. Auburn is at the McHale Center on Saturday against Arizona in Tucson. Alabama will then get Arizona on the 13th of December in the CM Newton Classic over in Birmingham. So both of them will face those guys. You already mentioned Auburn playing Purdue. They'll play them in Indianapolis. So that's going to be a tough matchup on the 20th of December. And that'll be the day before the Rocket City Classic, where Alabama comes to Huntsville to take on Antoine Petwake in Kennesaw State. And don't forget Caden Rickard as well, who just got his first double-double for the Owls, Bob Jones grad from here in our area. So both schedules are still really tough. No doubt about it. Nate Oates did this on purpose. He wanted to play a gauntlet like this, and Stephen Pearl, Auburn, and Bruce Pearl really as well, because he set this up. But Auburn is they both were going to play very tough non-conference schedules, and both have played as tough as any. And both have come out on the plus side of it. I think they've learned a lot about themselves. Both will have outstanding opportunities against Arizona. And then, like we said, Purdue is and it will be a tough test on a quote-unquote neutral floor, even though it's far from neutral in Indianapolis, playing Purdue. But that's going to be a tough test for Auburn. But it's one in a style they probably need to play. Certainly it will help them in the long run. It's certainly helped Alabama. Alabama's had to, endure their share of injuries, but I think it's helped their freshmen grow, because we talked already about Amari Allen, London Jemison, Davion Hannah has played quite a bit as well. So Alabama getting some younger guys, some development early, and the Crimson Tide, like we said, and don't forget also. I would be remiss, but the Tide does play Texas San Antonio this Sunday before taking on Arizona. But after that, old friend Brian Hodgson, who had already brought his Arkansas State teams in to play Alabama, he's in his first year at South Florida, and they will take on the Tide on Wednesday, December 17th inside Coleman Coliseum as well.
I told you we had a lot of basketball news to get to, and we did. Alabama, North Alabama, Auburn all in action last night. The only SEC team to get tripped up last night,
horns down,
was Virginia. Just waylaid Texas 88-69 there in Austin. But Mississippi State knocks off Georgia Tech on the road. Arkansas and John Calipari get a win at home against Louisville. That was an entertaining ball game. Vanderbilt knocks off SMU, and then LSU goes on the road and gets a win in overtime against Boston College. So that was your SEC. 9-7, the final of the SEC ACC Challenge. Third year for it. And remember, last year the SEC just, I think, what was it, 14-2 or something like that? I mean, it was
it was a
domination.
Boat racing.
Yeah, not so much this year. All right, let's get a break in. 7:17 here on a Thursday morning. When we come back, big day yesterday. It was National Signing Day. We'll check in with Kalen DeBoer and start getting you ready for some great SEC championship action between Georgia and Alabama. A lot to get to coming up ahead.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Need tough equipment you can count on? Christopher Equipment has you covered. Whether it's air compressors, trenchers, bucket lifts, concrete tools, generators, skid steers, and more. Serving you with locations in Tullahoma, Shelbyville, Manchester, Fayetteville, and Hazel Green. Christopher Equipment. From job site to backyard, rent or buy. Christopher Equipment delivers the tools you need when you need them. Call 931-455-3900 or visit Christopher.equipment today. Christopher Equipment, powering your project.
Hey folks, Don Wessel's back again for Woody Anderson Ford. And let me tell you, if you've been thinking about a new Ford, now really is the best time to buy. It's the Ford year-end sales event, and we're rolling out some of the biggest savings of the year. Right now, drive home a 2025 F-150 with financing as low as 0% for 60 months. And make no payments for 90 days. That's right, 0% and no payments till spring on America's best-selling truck. And Woody Anderson Ford has over 140 F-150s to choose from. Plus, it doesn't stop there. We've got incredible deals across the entire Ford lineup. The Explorer, Escape, Bronco Sport, Edge, Mustang, even the legendary Bronco. Whether you need capability, comfort, or pure fun behind the wheel, Woody Anderson Ford has the perfect ride waiting for you. It's our year-end sales event with no payments for 90 days on over 140 F-150s, plus 0% for 60 months. With approved credit, offer ends January 5th. Come on into Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Don Wessels, and we hope to see you soon.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile, and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99, and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99, or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this.
Oh, welcome back. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drew hanging out in Huntsville. I am hanging out in Pensacola, Florida. UAH in action tonight. The Chargers taking on West Florida, and we'll have that game for you tonight. 7:30, late tip, GSC standards.
Yeah,
it's
on. Yeah, and you're on Eastern time too. So yeah.
No, we're on Central.
Are you? Oh, dang it!
Yeah,
I keep forgetting that part of Florida is on Central time. Dadgummit.
No, Pensacola is on Central time, but yep. So
there you go.
UAH basketball coming your way tonight as they take on West Florida. The Gulf South Conference opener, season opener for conference play, is already here. I mean, it's fast, and I know. UAH and their new look team got a lot of guys out of the transfer portal. And speaking of transfer portal,
there we go. Perfect segue.
You wake up and sometimes it just flows together. Yep. Last night you were traveling and gallivanting to Tuscaloosa, but Butta Johnson, the former Grissom Tiger, who, by the way, and I don't know, tell me when the last time this happened in a college basketball game. I don't know when. It just popped into my mind that two guys played on the same court on a college level that played in the Huntsville City Classic at the same time? Because didn't Butta and LeBaron Philon play in the Huntsville City Classic in the same year?
Yeah, LeBaron Philon was one of the greatest players in the history of the tournament, averaged 32 points a game as they reached the finals his junior year. Now, remember, he transferred to Link Academy as a senior.
Right.
But he had a tremendous 3-year run under David Armstrong. They lost to Jamie Coggins and the Sparkman Senators in a heck of a final. But yes, Ephraim Butta Johnson, they both are Huntsville City Classic alums, Scott. That's a great point to make there. Ephraim spending his last 2 years at Grissom High School before graduating under our great friend Jack Dawson, moving on to UAB and Andy Kennedy for 3, and then now transferring to Clemson. So he played on the floor last night and did a nice job. And we were able to get some reaction from Brad Brownell, because we built this show on local, athletics and of course, keeping up and showcasing our young talent around here. And I just thought it was a great chance to ask about Ephraim and how he fits into a Clemson team that you heard Nate Oates say very likely is going to win a lot of games and have a chance to make the NCAA tournament.
Yep. Here is his response to Butta Johnson.
Yeah, love having Butta. He's a great kid, and he's a good player. He's helped us win some games, especially the 2 games down in Charleston. And, he's been in a lot of big environments. He's played a lot of big games. He's had success, and so he's not afraid in these environments to go make plays, to shoot balls in. I didn't think he played great tonight. I thought he was okay. I thought defensively he was behind early on some plays, like most of our team. But the longer the game went, I thought he really settled in, made a couple of big shots for us, and he's going to be an important player for us down the stretch.
There you go. But you know what, though, that you mentioned that I think you see this a lot of times in college basketball, and I see it even on the Division II level, that guys that come in through the portal, there's an adjustment period. There's an adjustment period that these guys have to make. And I think Butta's going through it, and I see other guys going through it on other teams where offensively they can shine, but defensively lots of times they're just a tad bit behind.
Yeah, they are, and that's what I was referring to with Brad Brownell, because they have to get used to playing with their new teammates, even if they've been there since the summer. And when the bullets become real and they start playing, for good, for keeps, it takes a while, maybe even till conference play, do you feel comfortable. But I think Butta's going to be a big part of coming off the bench for them. And let's not forget, it's why I mentioned they were both City Classic alums. Butta did miss the Philon by about a year. They didn't play against each other. But
I didn't know if they played in the same tournament.
That's why, because Butta, played 2 years at Grissom, and Philon only played 1 year in the Classic, and Butta never redshirted, so he's a true senior, 4th year guy. Now we'll see if he gets a 5th year, because hell, we don't ever know with all this stuff. And then
I know.
And then Philon is a true sophomore, so they did just miss each other. But your point still stands, though. It's extremely cool to see 2 prominent Huntsville City Classic alums playing against each other, because the Huntsville City Classic is just right around the corner. And of course, 97.7 The Zone is going to be,
there you go.
Going to be the there we go. Segues, man. We're pros at this stuff.
It's all part of the game.
All coming together, just like Hannibal Smith used to say. That's what I'm saying, because it's one of those things where we're the home of the Huntsville City Classic. We're going to have the 43rd over at Huntsville High, but both those guys played in it. Were prominent. And again, Philon was, in my opinion, one of the top 3 to 5 ever to play in the tournament. Got his team to the finals, and of course reached multiple Final Fours at Baker High School for the Hornets before moving on to Link Academy and playing with now his teammate for a second time, Davion Hanna. They overlapped at Link, and now Davion, of course, being a freshman and Philon being a sophomore. And don't forget, they both played for our good friend Bill Armstrong, who now has Robbie Coker on his staff as they are at McNeese State, replacing Western Union Will Wade. How does all this stuff just tie in?
So I'll even take you one step further.
Yeah.
Jonah Williams transferred from UAH. He's now a grad assistant coach there at McNeese.
Oh, there you go. I didn't even know that. There you go, Scott. You just piggybacked off of that. So he's working for his old boss, Robbie Coker. Jonah Williams, former guard for UAH, no doubt about it. So, and as Jimmy Lay pointed out, who was doing the color on TV last night, our good friend Richard Hendricks. So there
who, by the way, also participated in the Huntsville. Well, it was the Huntsville Times Classic.
Played Butler in the finals. Yes,
yep,
that's right.
Yep.
And then they played each other in the 5A state championship game a couple months later.
They sure did. All right, let's get out to the phone lines. Let's slip in Brandon this morning. Good morning, Brandon.
Had some friends that went yesterday and watched that Thompson game. Man, that quarterback, the guy's having him a career.
Yeah, Seymour, and he's going to break a lot of records. He and Gunnar Rivers. Rivers has another year as well at St. Michael, and they made the semifinals this year against Jackson. But, yeah, both those guys have had tremendous careers.
Almost went, Drew, Steve and I last week.
Yeah.
Last week we were in Mobile on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We almost made the drive over to go see that Jackson St. Michael
game. Man, y'all should have, man. Y'all could have just I wouldn't want to get y'all in trouble with the Reverend Ron who's about to retire, but y'all could have streamed it for me and just sent me some video.
Well, I sent Dave and Joan to Hattie B's, and I told him, I was like, unless you're feeling like a man, don't mess with the shut the cluck up. I was like, you might want to do medium or lower till you figure out your tolerance to what's there.
I'm going to tell you what.
Our Hattie B's is close to opening in Huntsville.
Yeah. And Brandon, I'm going to tell you something, man. There is a Hattie B's in Nashville, and I'm going to give Will Carter, a first-year member of the Huntsville Crimson Panthers basketball program, done a great job coming off the bench. He's also a catcher who's going to play some college baseball. He's played some football for Huntsville High. He tricked me into trying some shut the cluck up, but I survived. I think he was surprised. I mean, I didn't buckle. I had already had some Hattie B's hot chicken before, but it's extremely hot, but I survived it.
It's good stuff. I'm just a medium guy. I don't need to show out. I don't need for my eyes to water and my nose to run to prove to somebody that, I can eat good food. Medium will be okay. And speaking of people that need to shut the cluck up, for some reason, the moron known as Tim Brando is convinced and screaming to everybody on Twitter that the reason the Penn State job is not filled is because it's going to be filled with Alabama's coach. And he's getting high on his own supply and doing a bunch of other crazy stuff. But he is, I don't know at this point if he's wishful thinking, but, I mean, he's going all out. Like, he has bought into this thing crazily.
Yes, he is. And we'll get to that. We'll bring that up here later in the show because his tweet yesterday, and I know, Drew, you probably didn't see it, but his tweet yesterday was very interesting. There's a lot of college football little nuggets we got to get through, got to throw out. But,
Tim Brando probably thinks I bought $1 million house and an SUV, too.
He probably does. We all do, by the way. I'm still waiting for a ride in the Cadillac.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for you.
Yeah, thanks to crypto and Alibaba.
Yes. Drew has a multi-million-dollar house now and a nice Cadillac SUV.
But I'm sure I'll have my own private island soon, too.
Well, if you do, we all better get invited.
So, Scott, y'all are going to Valdosta next?
Yeah, so we'll play tonight here at West Florida, and then we will not get to Valdosta until Friday late evening-ish, because you forget it's a good 4-hour ride from Pensacola to Valdosta. It's not a quick ride, but yes, anyway. I hate to do it to you, Brandon, but I just got the little sign from Brody. Brody's telling us we got to get a break in here. I didn't realize the time flew by like that.
It is.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, thanks for the phone call, Brandon. I know he wants us to go to a barbecue joint over there in Valdosta. But anyway, we got to get a break in. And we talked a lot about NIL and National Signing Day, how it just doesn't mean much. Well, it means a lot to a lot of people in the Tennessee Valley because there were a lot of good kids, a lot of good kids inking their names somewhere. I don't it's not letters of intent anymore, but they were inking their names to play college athletics. And another one is Mark Andrzejewski from JP2.
You saw him play every home game, Scott. Just
I did, and his is a little bit different. His is a little bit different because it's not a commitment; it's something else, and we'll explain it all because he is going to step up huge, and we'll explain it all next as he's joining us on the show coming up after this break.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 40s. We're also talking about the opportunity for some rain as we head into the afternoon through the course of the evening, and then even as we head into the overnight. Rain's going to continue in some capacity as we head into your Friday. A cloudy sky. Temperatures on Friday climbing into the mid and upper 40s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
When Nashville does bowl season, it hits different. On Tuesday, December 30th, we're serving up big plays and conference pride. Join us at Nissan Stadium when the SEC battles the Big Ten in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl, where the party hits harder than bowl season glory and football roars loud enough to rattle Broadway. Get your tickets now at musiccitybowl.com. Brought to you by the Tennessee State Lottery.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
I've wrangled and I've rambled and I've rodeoed around.
Wow. Love it. I love the music. You can tell. You can tell when we've got Brody at the controls. You can. We sail so smoothly. Anyway, had the privilege this past high school football season to watch JP2 in person. as I had the chance to be the voice of Wicks Field, which was an honor. And I got to see a team fight. And I got to see a team that played with a lot of heart and a team that played with a lot of passion.
Yes.
And a couple of those guys, a lot of those guys were seniors, Joey Ross, John Luke Beshen, and our next guest. They were a trio that really, really kind of helped elevate the program, I think. And he's now going to elevate himself. And there is no bigger appointment. This is not like back, you used to sign your national letters of intent. But when you sign to play, I believe, for a service academy, it's an appointment, not signing. I believe that's correct. I could be wrong, but I believe it's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And our next guest, Drew, is getting that appointment. And you and I have a legitimate reason to go and cover the Army-Navy game now because of our next guest.
Yeah, Mark Andrzejewski. He's following in the footsteps of his family. His brother Paul, his older brother, who will be a junior on the baseball team, Scott, he came back last year to play at Trash Pandas Field, at Toyota Field, and play a prominent role in that Army UNA series. Yeah. And he's a young man that was a 3-sport standout at JP2. Batted .495 his senior year as they made a deep playoff run. And our next guest is much like his brother, a 3-sport standout, but had a monster senior season on the gridiron. He had Hunter Royer, our good friend at UAH, had already offered him in baseball. But, I think he'd always wanted to play college football and got that opportunity after Kevin Crehan's second year at JP2, where, as you talked about, they played their home games at Wicks Field, the former Joe Davis Stadium, and did an amazing job. Was one of the best receivers, not just in this area, but in the state of Alabama, with nearly 1,300 receiving yards, just put up video game numbers as a runner and receiver, and just an all-purpose weapon for JP2. And it all happened very quickly. November 24th, I was informed he was offered by Army and West Point, and then, of course, committed and then signed officially yesterday in a ceremony over at JP2. Was honored to be there, and now Mark is taking some time out of his busy schedule to join us early here on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Mark, first of all, congratulations. You're with Drew and Scott here in Huntsville on 97.7 The Zone. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing well, man.
Doing good. Congratulations!
Yes,
this is a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
And Mark, talk about because I know the first time I ever saw you, and these years fly by. I was watching your brother play baseball. I believe he was in his junior year. You were a freshman, just getting started as a left-handed pitcher, and it looked like your future might be on the baseball diamond, like your brother. How did all this happen, and when did you start changing your mindset as to following in your father's footsteps, who's a former wide receiver at Army himself?
Well, probably about after my sophomore summer, going into my junior year, had a really good offseason. We had just gotten a strength coach and made a lot of progress and had a good football year my junior year. So I saw that maybe that could be a path for me to play at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talk about this season too. And I know, a special one. And when you look at the game and you watch JP2 play this year, there was no doubt that you and Joey Ross just had a quarterback wide receiver chemistry that was something I don't think you can teach a lot.
Yeah. We've grown up together. We've been friends since we were about 4. So we played football together since we were 9. So the connection's just been built throughout the years.
Yeah, it really has, and you can tell that. And talk about the impact Kevin Crehan has had on your career, because this was year 2 for him. I talked to Coach yesterday. He talked about how much better he felt like the team had gotten. And you brought up a good point, Mark, about the addition of a strength coach and an off-season program and the impact it had on you in your development. But certainly Coach has had a big impact as well. You guys were fun to watch offensively. I had a chance to watch you as well. as Scott did. And you guys were offensively, we're really potent. And I know you guys had a lot of fun out there this year.
Yeah, Coach Crean's been great throughout the 2 years I've had him, and he's put a lot of work in it. He really made us buy in by coming out to all the workouts in the winter and in the spring. Just brought the team together and gave us some good chemistry going into the year to have a good year.
What does it mean to you? I know your family has the deep ties to Army and the academy, but what does it mean to you to officially get that appointment to head and play for Army?
It's special. It's an opportunity that not many people get, and I can feel it, and I understand the importance of that, and I'm willing to get to work.
Yeah, and I know this all came together quickly. I was talking to your dad, and I've been blessed to know him for many years, and he's done a great job also coaching out at JP2 and helping young men. But I know you were trying to get your film out there, and this was not a plan. To me, it was kind of fate because, of course, you guys have a deep connection to Army, but you blossomed so much this year. You were kind of a sleeper prospect that was, once his senior film got out, you were waiting to get the feedback and the interest. Talk about how this Army offer kind of came to fruition and kind of because I know talking to your dad throughout the process, a lot of the focus was on baseball, the offer from UAH, and maybe some other baseball offers. Then football started coming to play. And I know that the original plan was just to see who you had interest from, but talk about how kind of fate stepped in and Army came through.
Well, I was just trying to get my film in front of coaches, and once they saw it, they liked it. And I got some phone calls, and it all happened really fast, and then they gave me the offer.
So between now and then, what do you want to do? How do you want to get better? What's something that you want to get better at before you head to the next level?
And just overall, get bigger, faster, stronger, and get more skilled in everywhere. A completely different game at the Division I level than 4A football in Alabama.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And I know your brother, has gone through it now, and he's a junior and hoping to push for a starting spot at Army this year in baseball. But what kind of advice has he given you in his adjustment going to Division I baseball? And, of course, he's already played in an NCAA regional as well.
He's just making sure I'm getting to work right now, that it starts now and not when I get up there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you, this is a great day. Just talk about, obviously having the family there too. Yesterday for the signing and everything, and just kind of take us through that whole day yesterday of did you get a sense of relief? Because we talk to kids a lot of times, and they'll say, "Man, it's so stressful leading into everything," and then once it's done, it's just like you can feel this weight lifted off your shoulder. You can exhale a little bit. Do you feel a sense of relief now that it's all done?
Not really. I still feel like I got to get to work. But it was special to see everyone there, all my coaches along the way, family and friends and teammates.
And then you're staying busy because I talked to your basketball coach, Grant Perry, and you're a huge part of the basketball team. You guys are now well underway. I think you're about 7 games into the season. So there's still a basketball season to be played out. And then, of course, you'll be on the diamond as the number 1 starter, left-handed pitcher, and a big part of JP2 baseball. So you've got a long athletic journey still ahead of you before. And then talk about, for our listeners to understand, after you get done with that, you graduate from JP2, what's the timeline for you getting out to West Point and starting your journey under Coach Monken and the Black Knights?
So from what I know, it's about early July. I head up there and enter a sort of basic training for some weeks. Then I think I get out into camp a few weeks after that.
What conversations have you had with Coach Monken, and what has impressed you the most about their football program?
Well, it's an elite program and one of the best group of 5 conferences. So that impresses me just by the eye test and the community they have up there at West Point is unlike no other.
Well, I can tell you this. Your Black Knights gave our good friend John Summerall a run. We had, before he got to the Florida Gators job, he talked about escaping against Army and how hard it is to play Navy as well. And, hey, this is going to be even more special for you coming up in a couple of weeks. Are you guys as a family, are you going to go to the Army-Navy game now that you've signed? How is that going to work?
Well, my family is going, but basketball.
There we go.
Could interrupt it, so I'm not sure yet if I'm going up there.
Yeah, because now, Scott and I are already starting to plan something.
See, we already do.
Yes. Scott's already started planning seeds because we both have it on our bucket list to see an Army-Navy game. We have not seen it. And so, and our Brandon, our good buddy who's already called in, he's a huge advocate. So, and he actually went to see Navy and Air Force this year over at Air Force. So, yeah, we really want to see an Army-Navy game. We'd love to see you ball out over there. That's going to be a really cool moment. And we're really happy for you, man. I mean, you put up video game numbers this year, for JP2, and I think you're going to have a great shot to be All-State and maybe All-State in 2 sports, which is awesome, and All-Area in 3. So you've had a heck of a career, you and your whole family. And I met your sister recently. I want to give a shout out to her. She was a 2-sport standout at JP2 and recently graduated from the University of Alabama. She's working on the Arsenal. So this is a family that has made a huge impact on JP2 athletics, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'm just going to say this. It was a pleasure to get to say touchdown Falcons and then say number 9.
Yeah.
And to say your name there at Wicks Field. Let me tell you what, it was so much fun this past fall.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Well, yes, sir. And then we again have a great day at school. We appreciate the time and really look forward to your journey, man. And again, just good luck on the hard court now. That's your next step. But it was a great day yesterday. And, of course, you also had a classmate that signed with Alabama A&M volleyball, and
by the way, a former one of our Bryant Bank Team of the Weeks.
Yeah, there you go. Ryan Holloway. She's had a great year. She got offered by Alabama. She's just like Mark, he's like a third generation Army athlete now at West Point. She is a third-generation Bulldog. So it was a great day over at JP2 yesterday. We appreciate Coach Tim Miller, Becky Plott, and everybody.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, no, it was. And look, we talked a lot about yesterday the fact that National Signing Day was here, and a lot of on the Power 5 level was all about NIL and guys flipping and all about the money. But I tell you what, there was a lot of local kids, and we had Mark on there. There were a lot of local kids that put their names on whatever piece of paper yesterday to play for the next level, that have earned it, that have gone through it. They're not going to get millions of dollars in the NIL. They're not going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're going to get a college education, and they've gone it the right way. They've accomplished a lot. They've done a lot. There's a lot of boys and girls that signed their names yesterday that we need to congratulate. I mean, there's way too many for us to name everyone.
Right.
But again, congratulations to everybody that did this yesterday. And it gets overshadowed by all of this NIL talk.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of kids that were well-deserved yesterday that accomplished it.
Yeah, Hezekiah Harris, Tennessee, Davis Shoemaker. Hezekiah was at May Jemison. Davis Shoemaker, offensive guard. Michael Price, offensive tackle, Huntsville High. UNA, James Madison. Just congratulations to a lot of these young men who were able to realize a dream.
All right, we got to get a break in. I don't know if you saw this, but Justin Hokanson sat down with Hugh Freeze, and Hugh Freeze just ran the bus over Jackson Arnold.
I saw one of the quotes, bro.
Yeah, I'll read one of the quotes here coming up next, but Hugh Freeze just ran the bus over Jackson Arnold, and we'll explain
about
next.
Like what I'm going to do to Tim Bramblow.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Alabama, Georgia for the SEC title again.
And Alabama is headed to Atlanta again and play.
It's the Crimson Tide and the Bulldogs for the SEC title. Live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Join us at noon this Saturday on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. Stock Exchange. But there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. Private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today, 256-202-4200. That's 256-202-4200.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. The holidays are here, and so is the holiday pizzazz at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers. At Loring & Company, they know this season is all about family, time, and meaningful connections. And when it comes to finding that perfect gift, they make it easy, enjoyable, and unforgettable. Step into a sparkling world of the world's most desired jewelry brands, all in one place. Their friendly, experienced staff is ready to help you discover something extraordinary. Whether you're shopping for a spouse, a parent, a child, or treating yourself to a little festive shine, finding the right gift doesn't have to be stressful. At Loring & Company Fine Jewelers, it's a pleasure. They'll help you choose a piece that says exactly what you want it to say, beautifully. This holiday season, let the Loring family welcome you into theirs. Visit Loring & Company Fine Jewelers at 800 Airport Road in Huntsville and shop anytime at loringjewelers.com. Add a little holiday pizzazz to your celebrations at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I say that, Drew, because Justin Hokanson sat down with Hugh Freeze. And I mentioned he ran the bus over Jackson Arnold. This was a quote from the sit-down conversation. Hugh Freeze says, and I quote, "Let's be clear. This is not a beat-up Jackson. But certainly it didn't work out to the level that he nor I both expected for him and our team. And that's why I'm sitting here." End quote.
I think that quote came from an interview with David Pollock. I believe.
No, he sat down with Justin Hokanson.
He also sat down with Pollock and did an interview on his podcast. But yeah, Hugh's kind of been making the rounds, trying to, in other words, do what he did at Auburn, deflect blame from himself for botching the quarterback searches. And then, they lost to Kentucky, Scott, and scored 3 points.
Right.
They suck.
So, yeah, no, he did. You're right. Because yesterday, the clip we played was from him sitting down with David Pollock.
Right.
And then shortly after that, he sat down with Justin Hokanson of On 3 and then released that statement. But you also mentioned Tim Brandblow. Oh, by the way, Brooks Austin, who's going to join us later,
He's probably going to tell me to shut up again, but we'll go ahead.
He says, and I quote, "Jackson sucks. That's why I'm sitting here. The dude will never change." Talking about replying to that. But you mentioned Tim Brambo. This is what he said yesterday. The longer Penn State job remains open, the longer Bama fans need to come to grips with the fact that he may get ahead of their posse and take the job. There's no way in my mind they would have let today go by without a head coach, without having a contingency in place. Tim Brando believes that Kalen DeBoer is strongly in the mix for that Penn State job.
He also thought David Cutcliffe would get hired instead of Nick Saban. He is a dumbass. He knows more about hair products than he does Alabama football, okay? He's got nice toupees. There's a reason he's off the radar working for Fox Sports. He doesn't know a damn thing about Alabama football. He needs to take a sedative and shut his mouth.
Hour 2 coming up next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Atlanta Falcons hosting the Seattle Seahawks at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta on Sunday. Drake London day today with a knee injury for the Falcons, a total 44.5. Thursday night football, Lions laying 3 at home with the Dallas Cowboys, 54.5 the total at Ford Field in Detroit. VSiN's Mike Somich, Will Hill, Matt Brown, all like Dallas at either +3 or +3.5 points. Best bets available, VSIN.com/picks. Southeastern Conference Championship game coming up on Saturday in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. The Georgia Bulldogs are 2.5-point favorites over the Alabama Crimson Tide. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
It's hour 2, Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives, helping us jumpstart hour number 2. SportsMedAlabama.com, 256-881-5151 to experience the SportsMed difference. And Drew, SportsMed, the official medical providers for the UAH Chargers, which, by the way, 7:30 tonight, taking on West Florida. Central time, indeed. That's where I see. Look, now this is what's cool. See, we just tie everything back into the show. Now, normally there's 2 of us in Alabama and 1 of us in Florida when we have Travis Reier on. See,
but he's on Eastern time. I do know that. I'm not going to screw it up, I think.
Right. But you've got 2 people in Florida, 1 in Central time, 1 in Eastern time, and 1 in Alabama. See?
Yeah.
We've covered all the bases today.
My head hurts. It's about as much as Bram blow. But anyway, we always enjoy our business.
It is a serious question, though. And Travis may be able to help us.
Well, I was going to ask Travis that. I was just going to put him on the spot because he has the pulse of the SEC. You can find him on Reier on YouTube. Talks SEC with our good friend Brent Beard on a weekly basis. Second helping. He talks Tide with the Tuscaloosa News. Chase Goodbread talks NFL. He covers a myriad of topics, and he joins us weekly during football season, and we always appreciate it. Travis, we hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, man. And again, happy holidays to you. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Is Tim Brando have a point? I think he's blowhard. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is going to Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim at this point, we have enough of a sample size to sort of understand that while he's entertaining at times, he definitely likes to hear Tim talk. So, but look, I met Tim Brando. I was a student at the University of Alabama. I'm going to say this for Tim.
Yeah.
In the early 90s.
Gotcha.
And Tim was kind of on the ascent and was very much an SEC guy back then. A lot of his work was centered on the Southeastern Conference and couldn't have been more gracious with me as a student. So I am going to say that for Tim. But yeah, I think Tim gets a kick out of stirring it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget his rant. He was I think he was on College Game Day at the time telling it, or it may have been CBS he had moved on to at that point. I guess it was CBS. But he was telling everybody that just hire David Cutcliffe and forget it. Nick Saban's never coming to Tuscaloosa. And we know it worked out.
And he gave us the fly in the ointment. That will, to me, always be Tim's biggest sort of contribution to the rhetoric that is college football talk.
It really is.
Well, we stay with Kalen DeBoer because we do know for a fact he will be in Atlanta on Saturday
with a significant injury report.
Yes, and the Tide banged up going into this rematch with Georgia.
They are, and you kind of anticipated some of the issues that they were going to have before yesterday, but now you see LT Overton, the starting defensive end on that list, to go along with a myriad of others. I thought it was interesting, too, though, to see Josh Cuevas at least questionable early in the week. We'll see how that progresses over the next couple of days. Same thing for Jam Miller at the running back position. You don't like seeing guys like that on the report at all, but given that Cuevas missed the Auburn game entirely and Jam was on crutches by the end of it, perhaps one or both of those guys somehow see the field on Saturday. And then also for Georgia, though. I mean, Drew Bobo has been already declared out. You anticipated that being the case, and that offense certainly wasn't as effective against Georgia Tech once he went out. The good news for Stacey Searles and Mike Bobo and Kirby Smart is that you have some time this week to try to adjust to that. In game, it can be very, very difficult, especially at a position like center.
It really can, and but the one injury that was added yesterday, and I was in Tuscaloosa for Alabama Clemson, the SEC ACC Challenge, Travis, and just talking to people that are there every day on the ground, and I know you were one of those previously when you lived in Tuscaloosa. It sounded as though this happened probably in practice yesterday because the two heavy days for Kalen DeBoer are Tuesday and Wednesday, much like the NFL. And, and LT had been at media availability and was fine. Then all of a sudden we see the first injury report and he's out. So a significant injury, it looks like midweek for Alabama.
Yeah, that timeline would certainly suggest that once again, it's been a rough early week of practice. I mean, we saw this with Josh Cuevas.
Yes.
Prior to LT Overton's situation. And I think for that defensive line, there is some silver linings in that guys like Edric Hill, Jordan Renaud, we've seen a good bit more. It seems like a Kelby Collins, the Florida transfer here of late, to go along with James Smith and LT Overton. But LT's obviously one of your top two guys at that position. So you are going to have a deficit of some kind. I think Georgia, being as too tight end oriented as they can be on offense, with Delp and Lucky and those guys at the tight end position, it could be that Georgia offensively puts Alabama in a situation where they're more 3-4 in this game on Saturday, which would mean Quay Rusal and Yanzi Pierre on the field together. So, we'll see how that goes. You're still going to have to fill for that void for Overton, who, again, he came up huge late in that first go-around with Georgia and being able to get just enough of Cash Jones to get him on the ground.
Yeah, and I wanted to, before Scott follows with his thought, I wanted to just follow up really quickly, though. Might we see more of Jordan Renaud and even Keon Keeley as with Overton being out?
Could be. Keeley, I think, has been more situational, kind of their dime rusher off the edge. So I think we'll still see Keeley in that role for sure, but absolutely you could see him ramped up a little bit more too. I would think it'll be more Renaud, Hill, and Kelby Collins that every down type of, or early down at least, snaps will fall more to. But Keeley on third down could be big. And, Georgia's not a big tempo team. So that's another positive for Alabama. If you really have to get situational with your personnel this week with Overton out, Georgia will afford you that opportunity to get guys in and out. I'm sure Bobo will implement some tempo, but they're not a tempo-based offense.
The Iron Bowl kind of played out similar to this first Alabama-Georgia matchup. Alabama gets out to a lead. Auburn comes back. Alabama has to hang on. This first matchup, Alabama gets out to a lead against Georgia. Georgia comes back. Alabama has to hang on. They're fortunate in Athens. Lots of times, Travis, when we have rematches, it's usually the opposite of what happens the first time sometimes. I mean, are we going to see a similar thing, you think, in the second game? Or, lots of times when we think what's going to happen in a rematch, the opposite happens. But what do you think about the second go-around?
Yeah, the narrative seems to always be in sports. Beating a team twice in the same season, or how many ever times it takes, is a difficult chore. And that would seem to be the case this week, although history tells us it's happened more often than not, especially in college football where regular season and postseason matchups are concerned. 2011, it was difficult for LSU to beat Alabama twice. It didn't happen. And that's why we really probably have the extensive playoff that we have today. But yeah, I think that, for Alabama, you get into this thing where it seems like every time Alabama goes to Auburn and struggles to win like they did in 2021 or 2023, immediately after that is, well, they got no shot against Georgia in the SEC championship game. And then they followed up the overtime win at Jordan-Hare in 2021 with a win over Georgia. And Atlanta did it again in 2023 after the Gravedigger play at Jordan-Hare. So I feel like this is a game Georgia should win, especially with the potential for absences that Alabama's going to have. And that's understanding. Georgia's beat up pretty good too. But I'm a little bit hesitant because I've kind of seen this before. Different teams, right, too. So the matchups are always different. In comparison to that first go-around, it feels like the quarterbacks have switched places a little bit. That wasn't a very confident Gunnar Stockton that we saw in Athens about a month into the season, whereas Ty really was starting to hit stride at that point. Feels like they've switched places a little bit here in the second half of the season. So, we'll see how that goes. I think for Alabama offensively, it's crazy as this sounds, in terms of what they do well, I think this is a better matchup than maybe even last week was, because Georgia doesn't have just dominant edge guys in the pass rush. Now, their inside linebackers can get after you like Adkins can when you bring them. You bring Wilson, you bring Allen in pressure. That way it can be problematic. But Georgia is last in the SEC in sacks, last in the SEC in tackles for loss, which is pretty astounding when you think about it. So, I think if Alabama can avoid the penalty bug a little bit, this recent trend of them being able to stay out of 2nd and 12 and those 2nd and longs and 2nd and predictables could work to their advantage and even help them out on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I do think time of possession, Travis, Alabama still was able to dominate that to a degree in the Iron Bowl. And then except for Oklahoma, they've been able to win that turnover battle. I think those are two big factors. And I will say, they didn't make any really against Auburn, but I think if they're going to beat Georgia a second time, they've got to make a couple of explosive plays, which means Ryan Williams has to get off the milk carton.
He does. Certainly got to get a lot more of a combined stat line from Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams than you did last week. So However they have to go about sort of manufacturing that, or at least establishing early that he's a legitimate threat, because he can have games where he catches 3 balls for 40 yards or something like that. If he is impacting the defense to an extent where, he's creating space, he's creating gaps in the run game, he's creating, the crosser, the dig routes to Jeremy Bernard that they like to hit. So he has to absolutely, I think, to your point, be established as a legitimate threat this week. You have to go max protection and try to hit him on a double move, even if Georgia's in cover 2 or cover 3 and kind of anticipating it. I think that would be beneficial to the offense. But if Cuevas can't go, Caleb Edwards, Marshall Pritchett, one of these other tight ends has got to step up too, because you need those replacement yards that Cuevas gave you, especially when you didn't have much of a run game.
Mm-hmm. Travis Reier, kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, as well as WZZN TV. And Travis, there's a lot of angst. There's a lot of nervousness, I think, with a few Alabama fans that if Alabama loses this ball game, they're going to have to hold their breath to get into the playoffs. But the committee puts them at number 9 this past week, seemingly in a good spot, even if they do get tripped up in this SEC title game, and still should be able to get into the playoffs.
That was sort of the sentiment I think a lot of people took from that latest reveal, with Alabama moving up even a spot ahead of Notre Dame. I think if you're an Alabama fan, you're going to have a great idea of your college football playoff viability after that Big 12 game early on Saturday. Texas Tech beats BYU. I think you can feel a great bit more at ease going into the Georgia game. Now, can you afford to get your doors blown off by the Dogs? Probably not, because you got teams like Miami sitting right there too, that you got to consider in all this, that are very much preying on Alabama's downfall Saturday, and not just by a touchdown. I mean, Miami fans, and understandably so, they would love to see Georgia put a number on the Crimson Tide to sort of help their case. But yeah, that seems to be the thought right now, Scott. Just go over there and first and foremost win the game. And that's the interesting possibility with all this too. If Alabama wins, are they locked in with a bye? And that, with their health status right now, that's a lot of motivation. More motivation to win this game, because they need that time between the SEC championship game and perhaps their first playoff game.
And Travis, please make it make sense. How in blue heck is Notre Dame ahead of Miami, and why were they ahead of Alabama anyway?
Have no idea. I really don't. I don't get it. I won't even try to pretend to get it. So it doesn't make any sense other than, you're thinking it's Notre Dame. I mean, think about Notre Dame. They don't have to even worry about a conference championship game. Get to sit on the couch. But you know what? There's some SEC teams that are benefiting from that too.
Yeah.
Teams that didn't even qualify for the SEC championship game, they're safe as kittens right now. And watching two physical football teams in Georgia and Alabama go out there this weekend and beat each other up some more. And I think for Alabama, key in all this too is you need Ty Simpson, regardless of the outcome, to come out of this thing healthy, because you don't want to get Jordan Travis in this thing if something were to happen to your quarterback, right?
Right, and then of course you're 100% correct there. But is Vandy getting the shaft because of brand?
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like it was wrong though to see Texas. I mean, Texas beat. That goes back to your head-to-head that you were talking about. Texas is a 3-loss team with a head-to-head over Vandy, moved ahead of Vandy, as a 2-loss team, and coming off an absolute road thumping of a solid Tennessee team. So I don't think there's much doubt about it. And that's even with Diego moving the needle nationally. I mean, he's gone beyond regional guy at this point. He's sort of, he's gone beyond, I guess you could say, like JetBlue. I mean, he's full on Delta at this point. And, Vandy's still kind of feeling the effects of that.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Yep.
Well, and Travis, going into the weekend, they've changed the Heisman vote. Scott is a Heisman voter. Of course, they're making you wait. You can't go early with this. Is it wide open, or if Mendoza beats Ohio State, is it over?
Feels like it feels like a Heisman championship game, doesn't it? I mean, could be saying too. And I've said before, I think Julian Sand's been great, and really watching him against Michigan was very impressive. His season kind of reminds me of AJ in 11 or 12 at Alabama. I mean, in terms of what he needs to give that offense, because they are so balanced and so good across the board. I mean, Bo Jackson coming in there as a freshman at the running back position is unbelievable. Yeah, he should be, though. I mean, he should be hybrid. Those receivers that we know about. It feels like those two are in a playoff game, maybe for that Heisman Trophy on a, and that's the thing. It's a 1-2 matchup, and we're not even really talking about it that much because we got a playoff still to come. You think about like Florida, Alabama back in 2008 and 2009 and what those games meant, as 1-2 matchups. I mean, those were season ending for the loser, one and done situations. Now it's like, somebody's going to get a bye and somebody's going to get a home game in the playoff.
This is almost like 2011 Alabama LSU, though, again, right?
It kind of is. But I'm still excited to watch it. Give Sig a lot of credit, man, for what he's done up in Bloomington. And I think it's maybe created this belief that other places just can plug and play with a guy like Sig and just be right here in this national championship mix in a year or two. And with Penn State, it's kind of becoming a really tough situation with that opening.
Yeah, it really is. And don't forget, Scott and I covered National Signing Day yesterday, and the Vanderbilt Commodores have signed arguably the number one player in the country. Okay, so we're living in that world right now.
That's the Diego effect, right? I mean, if AJ Swan is still the quarterback at Vanderbilt, or Clark Lee might not even still be the head coach. I mean, you think about Diego's impact and what it's meant for that program, not just in the last couple of years for their head coach and everyone involved, but now, as you said, with Curtis signing on and flipping from Georgia, it's been a big effect.
Yeah, and we saw a domino effect because Vanderbilt took one of Alabama's receiver commitments, Owen Cabell, another local kid. Who is going to be a Vanderbilt Commodore, no doubt. Well, Travis, great stuff. Before you go, does Alabama do it? Do they win 11 out of 12?
I don't think they should, but I think they will. How about that? I mean, I've picked Georgia in this spot in the past.
I've done it already.
Been very wrong.
Yeah,
Georgia should win the game, but I'm not picking Georgia until I see it, in this game in the state of Georgia. Specifically. And look, Georgia's a solid team, but to the other side of that, I don't think this is a great Georgia team. As Kirby has said throughout the season, it's a lot of culture wins with this team. And I think Alabama culturally, more so than a year ago, can hang in from that perspective. But I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be a fun game. 1-21 might win it. I don't think it's going to be a 31-28 type of game at all.
Nice. Well, Travis, we appreciate it. Let everybody know how to follow you, man. We always we're very thankful for the time you give us.
Right there on YouTube. Reier on YouTube is the channel. Check us out. We have Second Helping, our SEC show. We have Talkin' Tide with Chase Goodbread. A lot of good stuff right there at Reier on YouTube.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Travis. All right. And when we come back, Drew, John Gruden. It's a really long thing, so we're going here for a couple seconds, but he shared his thoughts on the college football playoffs. John Gruden did. And
not Caliendo. He didn't. Frank Caliendo, calling John's handler, and then the handler thinks that's John.
No, this is straight up John Gruden.
Gotcha.
And we'll share some of those thoughts with you coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at woodyAndersonFord.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Great news! This offer is now extended through the end of December. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here for you.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship Game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Call me from Miami.
All right, Drew. Welcome back, by the way. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Travis Reier brought up a good point that Alabama really could use the bye week if they can get a win into the playoffs. They can use this. Well, it really that really leads in perfectly to what John Gruden was talking. John Gruden had like a 7-minute. He just unloaded on the college football playoffs, saying it just doesn't make any sense how they're doing it. And here is a little bit of it. It's too long for us to play the whole thing.
Right.
So here's a good little excerpt from John Gruden. This is good. Here's a little excerpt from John Gruden about the college football playoffs.
Here's my problem. I just point this out to you. Here's Indiana playing Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. Meanwhile, Oregon is sitting at home getting a bye week before the tournament starts? What logic is that? Then you got Alabama playing Georgia for the SEC championship. And you got a team like Ole Miss and Texas A&M. They're fresh as a daisy, man. They don't even have to play a game, but they get into the tournament. What kind of logic is this? That's like the top 2 seeds in the NFC. Let's say the Chicago Bears and the LA Rams having to play to see who the number 1 seed of the NFC is before we go to the playoffs. Meanwhile, we got everybody else that's in the playoffs sitting at home having a bye week. Does that make sense? Hell no, it doesn't make sense. I'm saying this. If you're going to have these conference games, I'm all for that. We can have the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State, go play Indiana. Alabama, you go play Georgia. Texas Tech, go play BYU. And Virginia, you go play Duke. But the rest of you guys aren't getting off the hook. Some of you guys got to keep proving your resumes worthy by playing another game as well. Here's my solution. Just see what you think. Ohio State and Indiana are going to play, and win, lose, or draw, both teams get a bid. They've had great seasons. Georgia and Alabama are going to play to see who wins this SEC, but both teams are getting in no matter who wins or loses. And Texas Tech and BYU, they're playing to determine the Big 12 championship. Whoever wins is in, whoever loses is in. But they're playing for a distinct title of the Big 12. And then Virginia plays Duke. If Virginia wins that game, they're in. If Virginia loses that game, I'm going to punch Malisack and they're out. And
He goes on to say, Drew, that basically these teams that are not playing this week should be playing this week. Like it's really kind of ass backwards that they're not playing and you got conference champions playing. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, in other words, what he's saying is have conference championship games, but also have play-in games.
Yes,
for teams
at the same time.
And that would gain a lot of interest in money. They should do that, And again, they'll expand the playoff to 16 teams, and then you know what you can do. That means that the teams that reach these Power 4 championship games, Sky, are both in. Okay.
Yep.
And then you have some play-in games to eliminate some other folks. Like Notre Dame. Win a game or get the hell out.
Well, all right. Speaking of that, let's get out. Let's get out into a break because Brooks Austin is he's chomping at the bit to tell you
hey, I got
to
these
shut
helmets
up.
in front of me, man. I'm ready to put it on because I'm fixing to. This is going to be like being in trouble.
Yes, you're going to get told to be shut up again.
When I told him my pick, I know he's going to tell me to shut up.
Well, let's get a break in. Brooks Austin is next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 40s. We're also talking about the opportunity for some rain as we head into the afternoon through the course of the evening and then even as we head into the overnight. Rain's going to continue in some capacity as we head into your Friday. A cloudy sky. Temperatures on Friday climbing into the mid and upper 40s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is the 2025 SEC Football Championship game.
And Alabama is headed to Atlanta again. Touchdown, Dogs are SEC champions.
Join us Saturday as the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs vie for the SEC Championship.
And we are moments away. And as you might imagine, the energy level is super high.
Kickoff is at 3 on your home for SEC football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Need tough equipment you can count on? Christopher Equipment has you covered. Whether it's air compressors, trenchers, bucket lifts, concrete tools, generators, skid steers, and more. Serving you with locations in Tullahoma, Shelbyville, Manchester, Fayetteville, and Hazel Green. Christopher Equipment. From job site to backyard, rent or buy, Christopher Equipment delivers the tools you need when you need them. Call 931-455-3900 or visit christopher.equipment today. Christopher Equipment, powering your project.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
A rainy night in Georgia.
Oh, it could be a rainy night in Georgia. Could be a long night in Georgia for somebody. Or it could be one heck of a battle. Alabama, Georgia gearing up for the SEC championship inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The more things change, the more they stay the same when it comes to the SEC. What is it, 10 times in 11 years? These two doing battle there in Atlanta. Someone's going to win. It's got to win.
Well, yeah, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I've been looking forward to this segment all week, but I've got my helmet over here. I've got several helmets. Probably going to have to put one of them on. Our next guest put one on himself. Outstanding high school player, played on the college level at Shorter as well. Really good college football player, and he sets himself apart because he grinds the tape. He's the film guy. I can't wait to hear his thoughts on this rematch because, as Scott said, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But we're going to welcome Brooks Austin, the film guy, into the conversation via WZZN TV and 97.7 The Zone. He's carved out some time in a very busy schedule for him to talk some Georgia, Alabama this morning. Brooks, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Drew. Everything you just said, completely true, apart from the fact that I was an average football player. I was kind of bumsicle, to be honest with you. And that's why I talk about it now.
Like
you know?
John
That's why I
Summerall,
talk
man.
about it now. Yeah. So I was not all that great.
Because you didn't have Hugh Freeze.
Good athlete. I'd like to tell myself that I would have been a better football player had Jason Kelsey been famous when I was playing, because I would have been like, hey, coach, I can do that. Let me do that stuff. Let me play like Parker Brailsford when he's healthy. Can I do that? That'd be fun.
Yeah, well, before I brace myself, I want to ask you, who's more full of it, Lane Kiffin or Hugh Freeze?
Well, see, the difference is I think Lane knows he's full of shit. I think Hugh Freeze thinks he's, I think Hugh Freeze thinks he's right. I think Hugh Freeze thinks he's a saint.
Yes.
Obviously, Hugh Freeze does not listen to what the internet says about him, does not listen to what people make fun of him with, because that goofy dude still goes in front of microphones and says the words, "We were so dang close." Guys, I've got T-shirts made making fun of that jamoke. I can't imagine how angry that fan base is every time they hear those words. And he keeps saying it. He keeps saying it. He's been fired for a month, and he still goes on podcasts with Pollock and Justin Hawkinson, the local beat reporter out there at Auburn.
Yes,
Please, will you write about me? Please, will you write about me? Just tell the folks that I was so dang close, and it was all Jackson Arnold's fault.
So before we get to the SEC title game, what do you think of the hires in the league? John Summerall to Florida, and then Alex Golish to Auburn.
Yeah, look, I love John Summerall because I love him personally. Like, I found myself up at 3 o'clock in the morning the other night watching his introductory press conference.
Oh, it was awesome.
I think Summerall is the combination of I'm a hard ass to work for. Like, if you come work for me, you are going to grind. It's going to suck. But I'm really likable. I'm really relatable. People understand me. People laugh when they're around me. People have a good time, but they going to work hard. They're going to be lunatics. They're going to be obsessed. They're going to be all of that. Guys, that is what Dan Lanning has become. That is what Kirby Smart is. That is what Nick Saban was. I feel this way about Brent Venables. I feel these defensive-minded guys that are lunatics that, like, are buttholes all the time, but something about them makes them really, really likable, and the energy around the place is up, no matter the fact that the coach is being you-know-what all the time. So that's what I like about Summerall, and obviously he's been a winner. He's been a winner 2 times over. He won at Troy. He won at, Tulane, and I love that comment about winners win. That's what winners do. I'm a winner. We're going to win. I also love the comment about, hey, coach, how are you going to fill out your staff? Are you going to bring buddies? I don't hire my friends. Because my friends might not be right for the job. All of those things, those are all the right things. The way that he approaches the job is the right thing. And he's a great defensive mind. If you talk to anybody about football, they will talk about John Summerall and hold him in high regard with regards to his defensive principles and personality. So there's that. You asked me about Golish. I think Golish is the same thing. Golish is a lunatic. Golish is the offensive-minded lunatic. So he might not have the personality. He might not have the relatability, because I have always found that these offensive minds are either eccentric or isolated, right? They're either Lane Kiffin or they're Gus Malzahn. There is no happy medium between these guys. They're normally either don't talk to me, let me sit in a dark room all day and study tape, Alex Golish, or can you tweet about me and please talk about me, Lane Kiffin. So it's one or the other. There is no in between. Alex Golish is the I don't golf. I will outwork you. I will try to find an advantage. Now, the problem is, for me, I'm a fan of wide choice. I believe in wide choice offenses. But when you hire a head football coach that runs wide choice, your fan base better know that's what he runs. I don't think they know that yet. They're going to learn. They're going to figure it out. When they come out there and they're taking 78 offensive snaps a game and they got wide receivers lined up outside the numbers, they'll learn. And I just don't know if they're going to like it, because most people don't when they first do it. Most people, when you first see that offense, you're like, ugh, what's this gimmicky stuff? That gimmicky stuff put up 52 points on the head top of Alabama while he was at Tennessee. That's why they hired him, by the way. He gave Alabama a sweat at Tennessee. He gave Alabama a sweat twice at South Florida. So they hired him at Auburn. That's their processes. As a matter of fact, I don't even know why they hired the goofy boy from Boise State. He never had an opportunity to give Alabama a sweat.
That's very true, Brooks. We're talking to Brooks Austin, the film guy. Now we've got to ask, going into this Alabama-Georgia rematch, the injury report for both is significant. Now we know Drew Bobo is out in the pivot for Georgia. I was on with Buck Bellew earlier in the week, and he was saying, tell Tim Keenan to take it easy. Well, now he asked me about LT Overton. I said Overton could be an impact guy. He's out for Alabama. So
what happened there, by the way? Because he was speaking to media this week about being excited for this.
We talked about it this morning. It had to be an injury in practice like Cuevas before they played Eastern Illinois. Alabama's had some tough luck like that. And now Jan Miller and Cuevas, I think they're out, but they're listed as probable right now. But I know you've studied both of these teams. That's why I respect you so much. How have they both improved? But how are the injuries? How could they play a factor in this game coming up on Saturday?
Honestly, Parker Brailsford wasn't on the injury report list, but if you watch that Auburn film, that guy's not moving like he's supposed to. That kid's playing on one foot. So everybody's banged up right about now. So we'll have to see what's going on there with both sides. I think the biggest loss is both two-prong, right? Like LT Overton, I think, is the most well-rounded football player on that defensive line. Like, I think James Smith is a disruptive football player, but James kind of does whatever he wants, and that kind of runs him into disruptive plays every once in a while, but it also runs the defense into problems every once in a while because James out there doing what he wants. LT plays the position by the book every single play, every single down. And having that absence, that's scary. Now, on the other side, Drew Bobo, in my opinion, I said this on a show the other day, I've covered 3 centers the last 5 years, maybe 6, of Georgia football, right? It's been Cedric Van Pran, it's been Jared Wilson, it's been Drew Bobo. Undoubtedly, without a question in anybody's mind, Drew Bobo's the least talented of all three of those. The unit has worked best with him. Okay, and the other two are in the NFL right now. All right, this guy is really, really good at identifying what is about to happen and getting everybody on page with what's about to happen. So when it happens, we see it, we're absorbing it, we're ready for it, we can execute it, we can hit the curveball. That's what stunting defenses are. Stunting defenses are off-speed pitches. Everybody throws fastballs. Everybody lines up in their base alignment. But everybody's got to have some type of changeup, some type of curveball. That's what slants in the run game are. And if we don't have a center that can sniff that out, pick up the sequencing, identify where it's at, and hit it out of the park, we're going to take TFLs. We're going to take tackles for loss, and that's bad. For this offense, it's horrible. I was talking about it last night on our show. If both of these teams are in 3rd and 9 all night, Alabama's going to win the damn football game. There ain't no doubt, okay, because Alabama can do that. Alabama been doing that. Georgia can't. Georgia cannot live in 3rd and 7 plus. They will not convert third downs at a high rate. They have to be in 3rd and 4 and less because they need the threat of everything. They need the threat of a pass. They need the threat of a run. They need the threat of, hey, if they don't get it here on 3rd and 4 and it's 4th and 1, they going to go again because that's what they do. They need to be in short yardage situations.
We're used to seeing Alabama and Georgia play in the SEC title game against each other. It's something we've seen over the years. Is this the least explosive Alabama and Georgia matchup we've seen in these title games?
I mean, I think it's going to be a defensive battle. Like, I think Alabama's defense is the best unit on their sideline, in my opinion, right now. The Alabama offense has been great all year. It is staggered against certain matchups. But, guys, this was one of those matchups. Like, I think people think that, yeah, like Ty came in here and shredded on 3rd down. But, guys, they put up 24 points. They put up the same type of offensive performance that they put up against Oklahoma, that they put up against Auburn, right? So, like, I hear a lot of, and I've been one of these people this week that's been like, hey, let's give credit to the defenses that Ty was playing 2 out of the last 3 games. Like, playing Auburn's tough. Playing Oklahoma's tough. So you're going to have bad days. Playing Georgia's tough, guys. It's not easy. So no doubt. I do not expect them to be able to run the football. You know what I mean? Like, I expect this to be an uber one-dimensional Alabama football team. That being said, I got done watching Gunnar Stockton against Georgia Tech. That didn't look good either. And this defense is way better from Alabama. So, yeah, like I think it's going to be a sub 24-point like winning performance.
I'm bracing myself. I'm about to grab this helmet, but I got Georgia winning 24-20 with Alabama being as banged up as they are.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I don't know why you feel that way, dude. I have no idea why you feel that way. I have no idea why anybody
went out, man.
I mean, has your damn head been buried in the sand for 10 years? Guys, they're 1-9 over their last 10.
10 out of 11.
Team. It ain't even like, oh, that's big bro. No, that's daddy. That ain't big bro. Right now it's daddy. And we got to go beat dad. And maybe dad's a little old and long in the tooth, and we feel like we're in our prime. But he still got one good one in him every time we face him for some damn reason. I mean, good Lord.
Well, and what are your thoughts, though? Are both, we know Georgia's in regardless, and Georgia's playing for a bye and maybe the 2 seed. Alabama would get a bye, I think, if they win. Now, if Alabama loses this game, should they still be in?
Greg Sankey will burn it down to the ground. Greg Sankey will burn it down to the ground if the regular season #1 football team, you go 12 games in this conference, 8 conference games. You go 8 conference games in this conference and you are at the top of it and you get left out after losing the conference championship game, Greg Sankey will burn it down. He will burn it down. So, no, I do not think that is the case. I don't think it was happening. I think they set the stage for it this week when they put Notre Dame behind Alabama. I thought the scariest situation for Alabama was BYU magically finding a way to beat Texas Tech, and then Texas Tech sitting there with 2 losses, and the only one of them being to a team that they'd already beaten and the other one being to a team that they lost to with their backup quarterback. I was already looking at Texas Tech and BYU being in and Alabama being out. Now I think if that happens, if BYU beats Texas Tech, I think Notre Dame's the one sitting at home now.
Yeah. Is Vanderbilt getting the bad end of all of this?
Look, guys, it's not Vanderbilt's fault that nobody thinks LSU is any good this year. It's not Vanderbilt's fault that nobody thinks Missouri's good. All right, Missouri, they broke Missouri. They broke their quarterback's leg in the third quarter of that football game. It's also, but it is Vandy's fault that they scheduled 4 cupcakes. Like, as much as we talk about how Texas is being punished for scheduling Ohio State, Michigan's being rewarded in this head-to-head between them and Oklahoma, or them and Vandy, for having beaten Michigan. If Oklahoma had the same out-of-conference schedule as Vandy, they might take Oklahoma anyways because of name brand value and whatnot and the defense, but that's the difference. Like, the difference is they have a win over Michigan and you have a win over Brent Pry-led Virginia Tech. Like, no. I hate it. But here's what I'll also tell you. Like, we can sit here and moan and complain about Texas. We can moan and complain about Vandy. None of those, in my opinion, none of the teams 11 through 15 are good enough to go win 4 straight football games against top 12 football teams anyways. So we're going to argue about 11 through 15, but the ones who can actually win it are right there in that top 8, 9, 10, 11 anyways.
And we know as we're wrapping it up with Brooks Austin, the film guide, you guys have been breaking it down and giving the keys to Georgia, Alabama in this second chapter. Once again, said they're playing twice as they did in 2021. This time for an SEC title, not the national title. But it's not inconceivable they could play a third time. But in your mind, what's the keys to victory for either one of these squads?
For Alabama, it's not being so one-dimensional, but like, dude, we're 13 games in at this point. You just are what you are. So find ways to continue to be elite on critical downs. That's been Alabama's key to success all year, right? Like, when you become one-dimensional, you're going to face a lot of 3rd and 9s. You're going to face a lot of 3rd and 12s. You're going to be a lot of 2nd and 20s. I mean, golly, how many times this offense been in 2nd and 20 this year due to a hold? I mean, it'd make you sick. So just continue to have the only quarterback in college football that can take 5-step drop, no hitch, take zero pressure off the face and deliver strikes. So continue to do that. For Georgia, like, Gunnar Stockton can't play like that. If Gunnar Stockton plays like he played against Georgia Tech at any point over the next 2 months, they will lose. They will lose. So he's got to play at a much higher rate. And I think defensively, they got to get off the field on 3rd down. That's obvious. But you got to disguise coverage, man. You got to do a good job lying to Ty Simpson. When you have quarterbacks that are trying to collect that much information at the line of scrimmage, get the right play called, and get the answer to the test before the test begins, we got to change the answers. We got to change the answers constantly. That kid can't be picking us apart like that. The first time they played, the amount of times Ty got to the top of his drop and threw an anticipatory throw into his zone window on 3rd down, crushed them. That was the reason. It wasn't just you're not getting him down. Well, I can't get him down. He's getting the ball out as soon as he grabs it, basically. At one point, Kirby Smart said, I honestly thought about rushing 0 and dropping 11. Like, he got that bad.
Wow, that's why he's the film guy. Go ahead.
Oh, it is. And I know we talked about Hugh Freeze in the beginning. What about this whole Lane Kiffin situation? It just seems like this has turned into a big, gigantic, old-fashioned he said, she said soap opera.
First of all, he said, all right? Keith Carter told him, no, you ain't going into that team meeting. I believe the reporting from hundreds, not one. I don't care how loud the one is. Give me the hundreds, all right? I'll take those. And the hundreds say Lane Kiffin tried to eat his cake and have it too, and then acted like a butthole on the way out, trying to crumble everything that he acted like he loved. So look, we can sit here and blame the college football calendar, and that's fine. You can do that. The college football calendar ain't got nothing to do with you manipulating and exploiting people and their feelings and trolling them and doing what you're doing, and then telling Marty Smith that, I love Ole Miss and tweeting out that I would never do anything to hurt Ole Miss if they let me coach this football team. Meanwhile, also giving your football coaches ultimatums, saying if you don't get on that plane, you ain't coming with me at all. You don't have a job. Huh? Wait, no, I didn't do that. That didn't happen. That makes me look bad. I didn't do that. That didn't happen. Oh, yeah, it did. That did. I don't like all those things. But look, I've said this about Lane 1,000 different ways. I do not like the things that Lane does. I don't. But some part of me, despite the fact that I feel grosser and grosser and grosser and feel as if I need to be checked after this statement, I love him. I love him. I don't know why. I love him. I dislike everything that he does, but I kind of love him. I don't know. He's a butthole, to be honest with you. The whole thing was gross.
Well, I feel stronger about Lane Kiffin, and it's in a negative way. But I love Brooks Austin. He's the film guy.
Yes, we do.
One of the best in the business. We thank you for joining us, man, and we can't wait to get your insight when college football playoff time comes around.
No doubt. We'll see y'all boys soon.
All right, thanks. Brooks Austin. Drew, that's good stuff. Brody only had to hit the dump button once.
And it wasn't me. It wasn't me. What great passion. And he didn't tell me to shut up.
No, he didn't.
I had my helmet ready.
He was about calling you stupid, though.
No, I know.
All right, let's get that final break in. Good news and big news for one of the football programs in the state of Alabama. We'll explain it next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
Hi, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And good news, I got to know him when he was coaching at Jack State the first time, but John Gross named Samford head football coach. Good to have him back in the state.
We need them to do a tour. Samford to do a tour so he can come see us, man.
Well, you know what? We do our tailgate tour every year.
Yeah.
Maybe we add Samford. Maybe we go down and do one with Samford, and we get now we can go down there and we can get Lenny on, we can get John Gross on. I mean, It'd be a heck of a day.
There'd be some great restaurants around there. Maybe even the Saltgrass in Hoover, man. Great state.
Yeah, we had Olive Garden last night. I love Olive Garden.
The OG.
Only
man.
on trips.
There you
Only
go.
on trips. All right. Back at it tomorrow for a Friday. UAH basketball tonight, 7:30. I'm here with Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas,